What's up, Frodan boys? Here on a rainy day. So today, Max is gonna ask me some questions just so you guys can get to know me better and about my history.
Tell us your name, what you like to go by, and then just something interesting about yourself.
Okay, so my name is Max again. I go by Lumberjack Max. And something interesting about me is that last summer I worked at a motorcycle shop, so I got to learn a lot and get some new skills.
And also changed all my tires.
I did do that. And also, my favorite color is orange, so that's kind of why KTM suits me. And I've been addicted to KTMs for a while now.
So following on that comment, I think everybody knows what your favorite kind of bike is. But let's go with what your favorite style of bike is and brand of bike. And I think everybody already knows this, but let's just get it out of the way.
So style, obviously, would have to be Supermoto just because I think they're the most fun. They never really get old just because they're so versatile. And my favorite brand for the past probably 4 years now has been KTM. It was Honda, but then I got a KTM and fell in love, so yeah.
What is your favorite activity to do when you're riding a motorcycle?
Stand-up wheelies.
Stand-up wheelies. Okay. Surprise, surprise. How did you get into riding and how did you find your love for motorcycles?
I started probably when I was 6 on little four-wheelers. My dad grew up around motorcycles and snowmobiles over in the upstate New York area, and he never really had one when he moved out here other than a street bike. But then once he had me and I started getting older, he bought me my first little quad and took me riding. He had a pull start, no suspension. I think it was like a 300 ATV, and then I had a little 2-stroke Pantera knockoff ATV, and we went riding all the time with those. And ever since, just Craigslist, building our way up to where I'm at today with the KTM 525, buying and selling, baby.
How did you choose the KTM 525 versus, I don't know, a 450 or a 530 like I had, or something other than the 525? Like, what made you choose this bike specifically?
So before I got this bike, I had a Honda Sierra for 250, and then, but my dad also had a KTM 400 EXC, so I was riding that a lot, and I liked the power of the 400. The 250 was fun, but I grew out of it pretty quick and wanted something with more power, so I sold the 250 and decided to one-up my dad and immediately I found a good deal on and I turned the age finally where I could get a street bike, so I kind of wanted to kill two birds with one stone. So I bought a 2003 525 EXC that was plated. It was Supermoto'd already. It was just like this bike, but in 03, and I rode that for about 2 years, sold it, made some money, and then bought this one, which is an 07. And it did not come Supermoto, but I bought the wheels off of Max, homie, hooking it up. So yeah, and now I love this bike, but I'm gonna have to get rid of it eventually.
So I know on our last moto vlog you talked a bit about where you want to go in the future in regards to like what kind of bike you want. But talk a little bit about what we can see from you in the future in terms of like new bikes and stuff like that.
Yes, currently I'm a sophomore in college, out of state, so that kind of takes up most of my time. I don't really ride out there. I don't have any vehicles out there yet, but coming back this summer I hope to have an internship, possibly in California, and for that I'd like to get something a little more reliable, just because I don't really trust this thing, especially on the streets, like long distance traveling on the streets for commuting and everything. So I'd like to sell it and get an FZ07 or an 09, because they are pretty kind of similar to what I'm riding now, just with a lot more power, so I can keep up with the ZX10, sort of, kind of keep up. But also it's a lot more convenient for commuting, a lot more reliable.
where do you see yourself in the future in the Frodan Boys channel? You see yourself trying to like do more moto vlogs, or go out to the desert and ride out in like Red Mountain, or going to the track? Like, what aspect do you see yourself popping up in videos more often?
In the future, this summer, depending on where I'm at, and if I have a motorcycle, definitely moto vlogs. I think those are super entertaining and fun to make. I'd love to do more desert riding, but like I said, I'm probably going to end up selling this, so I won't really have a desert bike other than my dad's 400, or I also have a Honda 230, but they're fun. They're just kind of slow. But, I mean, yeah, I don't know if I'll have the time for desert riding, but definitely moto vlogs.
Talk about how you influenced me to get into riding when we were both kids.
Yeah, so I was always the kid up the street from Maxwell with the motorcycle, and I was always ripping up and down his. So he used to live right down the road from me, and I would always ride up and down his street, and every once in a while he'd come out and ask to ride my motorcycle. And fortunately I had two bikes at the time, two of my own bikes at the time, and so I got him on one, and next thing you know, we're both causing havoc, as usual, as Frodan Boy style, up and down the street, having the neighbors yell at us all the time, telling us to shut up. And then soon enough we got older and were able to drive, so we started going out to the desert a lot. That's where we initially got the whole Frodan Boys thing, even though now it's turned into more of a Rodin Boys thing. Back in the day, we had a YouTube channel with like airsoft and a go-kart that we made or like fixed up, and so it just gave us the idea, since we already had GoPros, that we would start another YouTube channel just a little more focused on like off-roading that we were doing at the time, and we got a distraction. Hello, Mother.
Hello, son.
Yeah, you want to start on our YouTube channel?
Oh, yes.
This is my mom. She rides lots of motorcycles.
Oh, you guys are so cute. Such cuties.
Where were we? We started gathering footage from the desert. Insert some footage here of that KX 250, because that's in the road. And we started putting that footage on YouTube. And I remember the first day we decided to like sit at the computer and actually follow through with the first video. We didn't really think it through all that much, and we were trying to think of a channel name, and we were just thinking of what we do, which we were doing a lot of off-roading, and so somehow Maximilian came up with the idea of Frodan, just a little shorter version of off-roading, Frodan, and Boys, because the Boys actually came from a channel that I watch, which is Boosted Boys. Shout out Boosted Boys. They make some sick car content. So we combined the two, and next thing you know, we had Frodan Boys, and we were live with some off-roading adventures. Now we're at, what is it, 866 subscribers. Subscribe. Follow us at Frodan_Boys, B-O-Y-Z. Stay tuned for more from the Frodan Boys, coming at you live with more content all the time. Yeah.
That was perfect.